Well, weather-wise, it is another spectacular night in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we welcome you to Great American Ballpark. Reds 3-0 on this 7-game homestand, but the competition gets a little tougher starting tonight. The Philadelphia Phillies, with the best record in the league, come to town to play the first of 4. And guess who's starting at third base for the first time in his major league career? You got it. Yonder Alonso. And hi again, everybody, alongside the Cowboy back in the house with us. I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to Reds baseball. Well, we talked about the competition level increasing dramatically. The best pitching team, arguably, in all of Major League Baseball comes to town, and it starts with Cole Hamels.
Well, it does start with Cole Hamels. At least on this night, it will start with Cole Hamels. Cole Hamels has not pitched since August 12th. He had some problems with his shoulder, but Cole Hamels knows how to pitch. We've seen that in the past. We've seen it in his major league debut in this ballpark. He has never lost to the Cincinnati Reds. 7-0 with a 1.43 earned run average. This kid knows exactly what to do. And speaking of kids, he'll be facing Homer Bailey. From an age perspective, he is a kid, but from experience, tonight's a night where we'd love to see him get it done.
We're so excited about Yonder Alonso finally getting this start. He's been taking ground ball after ground ball at his original position, third base. Tonight he starts here, and Cowboy will talk about it when we return.
And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
A crowd still rolling in on this beautiful Monday night. And what about the rest of the night weather-wise? Let's check in with Michelle Boudelet.
You're going to need the sunglasses at the game this evening. Lots of sunshine, comfortable temperatures, really a perfect evening. 78 degrees by first pitch. By the 7th inning stretch, mid-70s. By the end of the game, 70 degrees under clear skies.
Well, great to have Michelle back with us on this Monday night. What about Yonder Alonso and now getting to start Cowboy at third?
Well, it started in left, now at third base, and you can see him in this video working not only with Chris Spire, who was an awfully good third baseman, but with Gold Glove third baseman Scott Rowland. You ask Yonder Alonso, and he'll tell you flat out, this is the position that I want to play. He's taken over 500 ground balls in the last few days, and this is where he grew up playing, and this is where he wants to be.
I played there all my life, you know, ever since growing up playing baseball. It's been my position, so, you know, I played it through high school, and I played it some through college, so. I remember when I got drafted, I took a little bit of ground balls as well at third base, so it's nothing new. You know, I've done it before. I feel comfortable there. So I'm back in the infield, so, you know, it's going to go well.
We're looking forward to it going well. And we're looking forward to seeing that bat in the lineup, no doubt. With a beast of the East rolling to town for the first of four. First pitch next.
Baseball is brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. By your local Ford dealer. Ford, drive one. By the Regional Tourism Network. Book your trip at CincinnatiUSA.com. And by Skyline Chili. Whenever you're feeling good and hungry, it's Skyline time.
Welcome back inside Great American Ballpark. The Reds have taken the field, led by right-hander Homer Bailey. And Charlie Manuel, hard to believe, he's in his 7th year now managing these Phillies. They have the best record in the league in his batting order. As Shane Victorino in center, Polanco at third, and Chase Utley at second. Ryan Howard at first. Hunter Pence came over from the Astros before the deadline. He's in right. John Mayberry now their regular in left. And a latter third of Carlos Ruiz, Wilson Valdez, and left-hander Cole Hamels. Your impressions, Cowboy, this year? The season interrupted twice by injury for Homer Bailey.
Well, I think the big thing for Homer Bailey is he is really starting to mature as far as handling things during a ball game. I think early in the season, even in ball games where he was pitching very well, he had an awfully difficult time handling things when they would go wrong, whether it be a home run or whether it be an error behind him or a misplayed ball, whatever that may be. It seemed like it would take him out of his concentration. Now at this point, he's doing a whole lot better with that, and he's doing a whole lot better following the catcher during the ball game.
Let's take a look at the Reds defensively behind Homer Bailey, brought to you by Ford. They'll start the youngster Chappelle in left, Stubbs in center, and Bruce in right. You know about Alonso at third. Joined by Renteria on the left side, Phillips and Votto on the right, Bailey and Ryan Hannigan, the battery. Shane Victorino to lead things off. Having an outstanding year. 309 batter, 14 home runs, 51 runs batted in. He looks at a strike and we're underway. Oh, and by the way, you throw in 35 more extra base hits. 21 doubles and a stunning 14 triples for Victorino.
Ouch.
Always nice to have the Hall of Famer stop by and say hello before the first pitch. He never comes by where we can actually talk. Joe Morgan. He always walks in when we're on the air.
Right.
Gives me a fist and then bolts out the door. All right, nice to see you. Well, 3 pitches to get the first out of the game for Homer Bailey. That's in the glove of Brandon Phillips. 1 out. You know, Cowboy, in a year where the Reds have had some of their young pitchers make enormous steps forward, primarily Johnny Cueto and Mike Lee, they've had a couple of young pitchers take steps backwards in Travis Wood and Edinson Volquez. Where would you say Homer Bailey fits in, one way or the other?
You know, Tom, I would say that if he has a good month of September, he joins that initial group. He joins Johnny Cueto and Mike Lee. If he regresses in September, then you got a problem, because I think he knows how to pitch. I think he understands the whole issue and the whole competition level now, much more so than he did a year ago. Now it's about getting it done.
Placido Polanco, a National League All-Star, voted in as a starting third baseman. He's been hurt a lot this year, only playing in his 94th game. 41 runs batted in, a .281 batter is Polanco. Of course, the Phillies are without Jimmy Rollins right now, so Wilson Valdez getting the starts at shortstop. And Valdez has done a good job for him. Not the dynamic player that Jimmy Rollins is and has been for a long, long time, one of the all-time great Philly players. But Valdez has been more than serviceable.
Well, this defense for the Phillies has been way better than what I thought they were going to be. You were asking me about Homer Bailey earlier, Tom. It's about execution now. And he's got all the pitches. He's got all the stuff. He knows what to do. It's about execution.
Struck him out on the 3-2 pitch. 2 up, 2 down for Homer in the opening inning.
Now, this is a pitch maybe a year or 2 ago. Homer Bailey may throw a curveball or something else instead of just going right at the guy and say, okay, I've got a good enough fastball. Let's see if you can hit it. Down in the zone, guaranteed to be a strike whether he swings or not. That's the kind of execution I'm talking about.
That'll bring up Chase Utley at 278, 9 home runs and 39 runs batted in. Another guy who's been bothered by a bad knee going all the way back to the end of last year into spring training this year. And finally healthy, fully healthy for the first time all year, playing in just his 79th game.
I think when you look at this Philly ball club, especially with the lead that they have over the Atlanta Braves at the moment, I think going into September, I think they would like to say, okay, by September 20th, we want to have all our guys healthy. Sometime between the 15th and the 20th, let's get everybody ready and let's get ready to play baseball.
And really, when you look at this Philadelphia team, it is a veteran team. I mean, they've got a lot of guys. The primary guys on this team are veterans that have been around a long time. So perhaps missing a lot of games, they're not going to be as tired by the end of the year.
That's the hope. But you got to be ready to go come October.
Well, I know one thing, Cowboy, and I know you would agree 100%. I would take my chances having this Philadelphia team when we start playing October baseball.
I agree.
Not a guarantee. They found that out last year. I think everybody agrees they had the best team in the National League during the regular season.
Let it slip away.
And it got away. They were beaten and beaten soundly by the Giants. 14 pitches, 2 strikeouts, and Bailey retires the side in order. The first time tonight against Cole Hamels. Dusty starting lineup. Brandon Phillips, Dave Chappelle, then 3 straight left-handed batters. Votto, Bruce, and Alonso. If you're wondering why, we'll explain it in a minute. Drew Stubbs in center, Edgar Renteria at short. Ryan Hannigan catching, Homer Bailey. Left-handers against this left-hander Cowboy fare considerably better than do right-handed hitters.
Well, he came up with that cut fastball in his 3rd year in the big leagues, did Cole Hamels. And it really made his changeup much better. He would run that cutter in on the right-handed hitters. It looked just like a fastball, and it gave him basically a 4th pitch to use against the batters. He doesn't use it as much against left-handed hitters. It takes away the cutter and the changeup when a left-handed batter is standing there.
Hamels pitching for the first time since August the 12th. That when he made a start, a very short start. 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs against the Washington Nationals, and then they called it a dead arm that landed him on the disabled list. Yet here he is closing in, and a 14th win will be his next win, and an ERA in the mid-2s. Strike 1 to Brandon Phillips.
Well, I think that's one of the issues that the Reds will face early in this ball game. Is Hamels going to be rusty? Is he going to have that top-end fastball? If not, the Reds need to capitalize right out of the gate.
Brandon has that batting average all the way up to 297. That has been on the rise each and every day since moving into the leadoff spot. 12 home runs, 73 batted in. 11 straight games he has a hit. Look at the numbers during the streak. Mighty good. Strike 3 called, and Brandon does not agree with DJ Rayburn. Philadelphia, the #1 ranked team defensively in the league. Brought to you by Ford, Mayberry, Victorino, Pence. Polanco, Howard on the corners, Valdez, Utley up the middle, Hamels and Carlos Ruiz, the batter. Now Dave Chappelle. Ball 1. Chappelle came on in the 7th inning yesterday. Went 1 for 4. Had a double off the right center field wall and was thrown out on really an almost unbelievable. I still can't believe it, in fact, when I see the replay. The throw that was made by Rick Ankiel in right center field.
Well, it looked like somebody shot it out of a rifle. And when the ball came out, everyone was looking at Chappelle sliding or beginning to slide into third, and then all of a sudden here comes this ball out of nowhere. And that just shows you how good of an arm that Rick Ankiel had standing on the mound, much less in the outfield.
Swing and a miss. Appelled out of there on strikes. 2 away. If you didn't see it yesterday, take a look at this.
And let's face it, Dave Chappelle is no slowpoke. He was getting it around the base path.
So now Joey Votto hit a pair of home runs yesterday, including the game winner, leading off the Reds' 14th inning. Votto now with 26 of those, a team high 86 runs batted in, a team best 325 hitter. Hamels has thrown his first 10 pitches, 9 of them for strikes.
What amazes me about Votto is that he hits left-handers better than he does right-handers, even in the clutch.
That ball stung into left field, but Mayberry's there, inning over. So like the Phillies, the Reds retired in order in the first. Our game storyline brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. The hot corner audition tonight for Mr. Alonso. That's the talk of the town today.
Most of the time for him, it's been the talk about his bat, because he can flat out hit. And he feels comfortable over there. That's half the battle.
Well, he told us about, 3 weeks ago in Chicago when he was playing out in left field. We had him join us for that Sunday interview before the game and talked about how his entire life he grew up third base, didn't play anywhere else. And once he got to Miami of Florida, they had him and Danny Valencia, who now plays for the Minnesota Twins, and both of them were corner guys. Valencia felt a lot more comfortable at third than he did at first, so they moved Alonso over to first. And he's been there really ever since until this year with a little experiment out in left field.
Now he's going to play a little shortstop with a big shift on for Mr. Howard. So we got third and shortstop all in one game for the first time.
Well, you may as well try him out on both. Ryan Howard at 251, 27 home runs and 99 runs batted in. They're certainly one of the most prolific sluggers in the game over the last 7 years. In fact, the next RBI for Howard obviously gives him 100. And that would be 6 straight 100 RBI seasons. And that would be a new Phillies record. And you might be thinking with Mike Schmidt? No. Hall of Famer Chuck Klein.
provides you with some pretty good consistency each year, knowing you're going to have 100 RBIs from somebody in the middle of your order.
Fooled him badly there. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Mr. Howard. That's 3 straight strikeouts for Homer. Well, the last time we saw Hunter Pence, of course, he was wearing a Houston Astros uniform. That's the only uniform we've ever seen him wear in the major leagues. That was until the deadline this year. And our Farmers Insurance report card on Pence, his numbers in tonight his 25th game since the deal.
You could add this guy to any ball club and improve your team. Not only because of the fact that he's a good player, but the fact that he provides a tremendous amount of energy, youthful energy, to a ball club, especially a club like this that's loaded with veterans.
In the air and playable for Hannigan in foul territory, 2 out. Well, we gave you the individual numbers for Pence since the deal. What about the team? Not too bad.
Well, the team average and the slugging percentage and runs per game jumped up a little bit. And obviously, when that happens, with the kind of pitching they got, the winning percentage will follow.
Yeah, I mean, this team scores 5 runs a game. If that continues from now through October, you can mail it in. That's why that winning percentage is .700, averaging 5+ per game. Of course, and again, if you win 7 out of every 10, but you lose 4 first,
you're going home.
You're DUN.
Done.
Votto, the feed to Bailey. Quick work once again for Homer.
SportsOhio.com. Chat with our Hall of Fame baseball writer Hal McCoy. Plus, get connected with Fox Sports Ohio Game Connect, the ultimate second screen experience. FoxSportsOhio.com, presented by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO and SafeAuto.com.
All right, Cole Hamel retired the side in order in the first inning. Now he'll face Jay Bruce, Yonder Alonso, and Drew Stubbs here in the second. In fact, neither team with a base runner through the first inning and a half. Jay hit his 28th home run of the year yesterday, 85 runs batted in.
Jay was the one that had the 3-run jack off of Mr. Hamels the last time these two locked up. Of course, the Reds did lose 10-3.
Of course, the last time Hamels was on the mound here at Great American Ballpark, I know every one of you remember it well. That was the end of the National League Division Series. A complete game shutout for this so talented young left-hander. Still a young man. Cole Hamels, he first came up. You brought it up earlier, Cowboy. Had a great start. There's a soft liner, one out. Then he had some health issues and couldn't stay healthy. And, you know, you wondered, could he get it all back together again? Well, he's proven that he's put it all back together again. He had that horrific postseason. And, boy, you have a bad postseason pitching in Philadelphia. I mean, it's going to take you a lot longer than in most other places to win the fans back. Alonso first pitch swinging, a ground ball smothered by Howard. 2 away.
Alonso, you got to say he's confident in his swing. Hit that ball just off the end of the bat, a breaking ball on the first pitch from Cole Hamels. Still hit it, looked like pretty good down the line.
15 pitches to record 5 outs for Cole Hamels, and now Drew Stubbs. Average at .251, 15 home runs and 42 runs batted in. Three and one to Drew.
Reds fans, if you're in the restaurant industry, let JTM Food Group help you with great tasting products for your menu. Inspired solutions, better results. JTM.
You know, they're feeding the entire crew tomorrow night, Cowboys, so you've got to make your way down beyond the security area before the ball game tomorrow. Going to be grilling it up for all the guys and gals on the crew, for all the police and security and workers here at the ballpark tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that. There's strike 3 called to Stubbs, and the inning is over. 6 in a row retired by each starter through the front 2 innings.
It's probably the best pitching staff that we're facing in baseball, and we have Johnny Cueto that's dealing with. They got like 4 or 5 Johnny Cuetos, and so it's challenging. But you got to rise to the occasion, and when you get a pitch to hit, you can't foul off or miss it. You got to be ready to hit for the minute you get in the box in there. That's number one.
It's our Geico direct quote from manager Dusty Baker, and he's not lying about the pitching. Number one in the National League at 3.09, just slightly better than the Giants and slightly better than the Atlanta Braves. I'll tell you a team that's amazing. If they had any offense at all, San Diego has a team ERA of 3.4. They're fourth.
It's tough to hit in that ballpark, though.
That is.
That's the one thing about it. You need line drives and doubles hitters in that park.
There's a line drive off the bat of Ruiz. Hardest hit ball of the game so far against Bailey, but right at Renteria. 1 pitch, 1 out. There you go. Look at the numbers. Of course, you look at the offenses in that National League West, and obviously Arizona's having a great year. Giants are having a good year. But there is very little offense in that division, along with some big ballparks in that division. Yeah, Colorado plays out there, but
it's not the same Colorado as it was
before.
Once they started the humidor effect, it's changed a little bit. The ball still jumps, but not like it did when I played out there. Goodness gracious.
Oh, man.
When that ballpark first opened.
Well, what about when Mile High opened?
Oh. That was worse.
That was unbelievable.
They were hitting them up there where the Hall of Famers were for football were displayed.
Never forget, as long as I live, going there their first season. It's fouled away by Wilson Valdez, 0-2, and we were there on the 4th of July for a 4-game weekend series. The crowd was over 282,000 fans for a 4-game series. The all-time major league record had over 70,000 for 4 straight days.
Couldn't even hear yourself breathe, probably.
It was amazing. 2 out. Well, the first 8 retired by Homer Bailey, and now he'll face his counterpart Cole Hamels. 8 hits and 55 at bats. Strike 1. That's a beauty of a breaking ball right there to get ahead.
Well, he throws one that's down and in to swing over the top, and he comes back with one for a strike.
And that'll do it. 9 up, 9 down. Bailey is fan 4.
Tundra sign during today's game. Brad Wargo of Hamilton, Ohio, will win this beautiful new Tundra on display here at Great American Ballpark. Register for your chance to win at an upcoming game by seeing one of your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. And you better hurry up.
Better hurry up is right. The Reds have one more lengthy homestand left in this season. One more homestand period. It's a long one. They have the Cubs, the Brewers, and the Astros coming in beginning on September the 12th all the way through the 21st, and then that's it. Outside, of course, of 3 more to go here in this series. Night games tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 12:35 game on Thursday. Tickets are available. Come on down. I mean, the weather's unbelievable, and we expect to see very good baseball here the next 4 days. Reds are playing very well. And some might say, yeah, too little too late. Perhaps you're right. But they're playing well. They're fighting hard every night. They never give up in a game. Yesterday, another example. They had a lead, got away in the 8th, fell behind in the 9th, tied it in the bottom of the 9th, and outlasted the Nationals, a win in 14.
Good baseball is good baseball, period. And the thing about it is you're going to start seeing some kids. Some of the people that you may see here next year might want to get a glimpse.
You know, everybody's been so excited, and it's always so funny. You know, what have you done for me lately in the society which we live in so many different areas? You know, as soon as we found out that Yonder Alonso was in a lineup today, the first question a lot of people asked was, well, how long is that going to go on? It's a good question. But obviously we'll find out starting tomorrow. Hamels comes all the way back from behind 3-0 to strike out Renteria.
Get ready for Reds action 30 minutes before every game with Emmy Award-winning Reds Live on Fox Sports Ohio. Exclusive interviews, in-depth features, and the world-famous Tech Talk series. That's Reds Live, presented by Ray St. Clair Roofing.
Now, you know, Chris does Chris's checklist right before every game. You came right on at the top of Reds Live tonight. And you broke down Cole Hamels. But I remember early in the year when you were over here, you were doing the Cowboy Roundup, you know, sort of taking us up to the first pitch.
That's true.
Now, the ball's in the air to right. Hannigan set down, 2 away in the inning. Are you going to be rounding it up tomorrow or no? Do you know yet?
I don't know yet. But if there's something to be rounded, I can round it. All depends on what they want from the old boy.
I understand. See, I think your segment should be called Louisiana Breakdown.
The old Louisiana Breakdown.
And for those that haven't heard the Cowboy in a while, over on the television side, that means, again,
curveball that starts right around Memphis and drops straight down to New Orleans. Bailey taking a hack right there, wasn't he?
Well, he'll take a hack. Couple of doubles on the year for Bailey. 1-1 to count. And that just missed. 2-1. Not a single base runner so far in the game. Eight in a row retired by Hamels. 9 straight set down by Homer Bailey. And it's 3 balls and a strike to Homer. On the ground to Utley, and now it's 9 straight retired by Hamels as well.
Food Group, proudly serving America's restaurants, schools, retailers, and our military around the world. JTM Food Group. By your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO.
Well, the FX College Football Game of the Week presented by Russell Athletics returns this Saturday, September the 3rd, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific in high def. The #1 ranked team in the land, the Oklahoma Sooners, taking on Tulsa. And make sure you go to foxsports.com. Check out our buddy Charles Davis preseason power rankings. Cowboy, you're down there in the heart of SEC country. I know everybody down there is fired up for college football.
You know it. They're already getting the tailgating material ready to go.
What about your Mississippi State Bulldogs? What can we expect from them this year?
Bowl time.
Very nice. Like to hear it. No score, top of the 4th inning. 18 straight batters set down to begin this game by the 2 starters, Bailey and Hamels. Victorino popped up to Brandon Phillips, leading off the game. 2-0. Victorino only the 2nd batter tonight. But Homer Bailey has failed to start the at-bat with a strike. Pitch lifted into straightaway center field. It'll back up Stubbs a few paces. 1 out.
Good comeback by Homer Bailey there. Got him out with the fastball away after a 2-0 fastball that ran or cut in on the hands of Victorino. Get that ball off the end of the bat.
Polanco struck out his first time up in the 0-1 from Bailey. Is a flare that's foul.
You really have to watch Polanco leaning out over the plate because of that type of swing. He can dump the ball into right field with the best of them, especially when you see that whole front shoulder coming down and out over the plate. Look at that body lean. Yeah, baby.
Concentration there to field that cleanly by Bailey. A little bit of a bobble, and a guy like Polanco standing over there at first base.
Back-to-back pitches inside. One up and in, one right off the knuckles, and Bailey stays right with it. Turns and makes a strike throw to first base. Everything as a pitcher, when the ball is hit back to you, it looks like it's in fast motion. You have to slow the game down in your head somehow, some way.
Now Chase Utley with 2 down and nobody on, and Phillips ranges far to his left, bobbles, and then the flip sideways that will roll past Joey Votto. Phillips went a long way to get it.
This ball just kept moving towards the line, and once it was bobbled by Phillips, that's one of those plays where once you bobble it, you might as well eat it.
Scored an infield hit for Utley. So now for the first time in the game, a pitcher on the mound will work out of the stretch position. Not every time, but from time to time, when you get in a long extended groove of not pitching out of the stretch, there can be some problems that come up on you.
No doubt about it.
Ball one to Ryan Howard, who struck out swinging on 3 pitches his first at bat tonight.
Well, for Homer Bailey, moving into the stretch, the biggest thing you want to do is just continue to think aggressive and make pitches one after another.
High fly ball, playable out there, so Bailey no problems working out of the stretch. 1 hit, 1 left. Middle of the 4th, still a scoreless game.
September 18th, we would like to show our thanks during Fan Appreciation Day, presented by Walgreens. There will be drawings for fan prizes throughout the game. For tickets to see your Redlegs and the Brewers, call 513-381-REDS or visit reds.com today.
Well, could you ask for more glorious weather than we have had here for 2 weeks?
You know, it's amazing that you say that, Tom, because the Philadelphia folks were just commenting on how nice it was here today before the ball game, and looking into the future for the next 3 to 4 days that they're going to be here, how beautiful the forecast is. You can't beat this for baseball weather.
And the city and the area looks so spectacular when the weather is like this. Of course, it does in a lot of places, but you look into the hills of Kentucky, and
especially at this time of the day.
Yeah, everything's so
sunset.
Green. There is no doubt about it. We have been blessed with just unbelievable weather. And, of course, it's quite the contrary. We have Jesse Jackson, of course, up here in the booth. Talked to our old buddy George Grant on the phone, who makes his home back in Connecticut. There you get a look at downtown Cincinnati. Brand new Great American building to the left, the largest skyscraper built in the United States during 2011. That ball's hit hard into right center field, but room out there. And Pence fell down. And this is going to be a 3-base hit for Brandon. Reds get a break. First one of the night for either team.
Looked like his feet just came right out from under him right at the last possible second. He misjudged the ball. The wind got that baseball, and he just flat out misjudged it, Tom. He got over there into left or right center field, and he was in no man's land and trying to come back. His feet were on the warning track and came out from under him.
Now Dave Chappelle with a golden chance to knock in the game's first run. Ball one away. Brandon Phillips is safe. He's secure at third base. New York Life.
Patience, patience, patience. If you are Dave Chappelle. That's exactly what Hamels wants you to do with that pitch. He cuts it in on your hands. He wants you to feel good about the swing that you just pulled right over the third base dugout. And then he's going to give you that changeup just off the plate away.
Chappelle had a chance to knock in a run yesterday with a runner at third and nobody out, and he bounced out to third base. So his numbers have been a lot better when runners are on than when they're not. One out there again. Now what does he do? 2-2.
He's going to come back in. Try to cut it. Probably try to cut it back in. Well, it looks like a changeup. Another one. Kid's hanging in there.
Told you before we got started tonight, Cole Hamels has never lost to the Reds in his career. 7-0 in the regular season, 8-0 if you throw in the playoff game last October. It's fouled away again by Chappelle, barely getting a piece of another changeup, but a piece nonetheless.
What Hamels is trying to do here is get the ball closer and closer to the dirt in front of home plate. I think he would have liked to have bounced that ball in front of home plate, and it got just a little bit deep in the zone for him. You've got a young hitter at the plate. You've got a veteran pitcher on the mound. First run of the ball game is standing at third base, and what Hamels is counting on is the over-aggressive swing or the over-aggressive mentality of the right-handed hitter and the young hitter in Dave Chappelle.
This will be the ninth pitch in his at-bat coming up. Three and two to Chappelle. Struck him out.
Backdoor breaking ball. Started it on the outside corner. Very tight slider, and the ball just drops just enough for Chappelle to see changeup and swing. And by the time he gets a chance to get the bat head to the ball, it's already dropped a good 6 inches.
So now Joey Votto, who lined out to left field his first time up, looks at a breaking ball in the inside corner of strike. Not sure Votto agreed with that call. That .420 batting average with runners in scoring position is nearly 60 points higher than the next closest hitter in the league.
And you couple that with the fact that he hits left-handers better than anybody else in the league as well. Just shows you how good the stuff that Cole Hamels has brought tonight.
1-2 on Joey Votto, and it's off the outside corner to even it up. This will take care of bringing in the run. Just put it on the ground, and Phillips scores, and it's 1-0 Reds.
Good job by Votto. He went away with a fastball that was way off the plate, and he comes back with the curveball that starts right at Votto's front shoulder and breaks down and away. And Votto stays right with it long enough to pull it to the right side of the infield.
It's 87 runs batted in now for Votto. That's the most in the lineup tonight, and the best on the Reds roster this year. Hitting over. A misplay in right leads to a Reds run. It's 1-0 as we go to the fifth. Check local listings for the games that may be airing in your area. It all gets started Sunday, September 11th with the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL pregame show. Noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Time now for our AT&T trivia question tonight, Cowboy. Who are the only 3 Reds to lead the National League in both on-base percentage and slugging percentage in the same year?
We know one of them.
He's in a lineup tonight. And another one was here a little bit earlier on.
Yeah.
And I have no idea who the third one is. Of course, you've got a lot of guys you could pick from, but the more you think about it, that third one is really not all that hard to figure out. Well, you try it at home. One nothing ball game. Reds in front. We're already in the top of the 5th inning, and here's Hunter Pence, and he lines one into right field, a base hit. That'll be the second hit of the game for the Phillies, the first time they've had the leadoff man aboard in the inning.
It's a fastball up and out over the plate. And I think that Ryan Hannigan wanted this pitch just a bit higher than where it was, so Pitts would pop it up. He was able to stay on top of it and shoot it the other way.
Well, now John Mayberry, the batter. He grounded out to Joey Votto his first time up. And of course, he's John Mayberry Jr. You may remember his father, an outstanding player on some really good Kansas City Royals teams for a long, long time. Big slugging first baseman. His son is taller, leaner, and a lot faster. But his daddy could play. They're going to have to hurry. There's one. Bailey covering. And no.
Like you said, Tom, if his daddy had hit that ball, he's out.
Right.
And it's a double play. But not with this cat. He is motoring. The Reds turned it about as quick as you could do it. But Mayberry was getting it down the line.
Well, now Ruiz. He lined out to Renteria his first time up.
Ruiz likes that first pitch fastball. And he likes it out over the plate. It's the one pitch that he can hurt you on in a hurry.
So they go off speed on the first pitch.
Not sure if that was a split finger that was just a little bit hard or what. It had some funny spin to it.
Mayberry runs very well, not an accomplished base stealer as of yet, very early in his major league career, but he has pretty much wrestled away that left field spot from Raul Ibanez. And the last time we saw Ibanez, the Reds couldn't get him out in that 4-game series in Philadelphia back in May. I don't know if I've seen a guy hit the ball harder over 4 days than he did in that series. They kept throwing him those fastballs in, and he just kept killing. Am I remembering that right?
You are right on the money. I remember it just like you do.
I mean,
and we kept wondering, well, do we not have a scouting report here? If a guy that's a veteran cannot hit the fastball in, he's going to guess in there. And I don't care if the scouting report says his bat's slow or not. A veteran hitter, and he knows that everybody is pounding him in, he's not going to look away. He's just going to look dead in. Well, this group went through their scouting report and said, I can't hit the fastball in, so I'm just going to step in the bucket and jerk everything until they prove me wrong.
Philadelphia Phillies team is 5th in the league in runs scored. They are not the bruisers they were 4 years ago when they won the World Series. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it can still be a devastating offensive team. And when they have everybody in the lineup, I don't know many lineups that maybe top to bottom are capable of being better than Philadelphia. When Utley's healthy and Rollins is back at top of the order and running and getting on base, Victorino, Polanco, and to get in the middle of that part of the lineup. And, you know, they seem to have a lot more guys now that put the bat on the ball and put the ball in play than maybe they did in years past when they used to strike out a lot. It is just a good team. If there's one, I guess some might question about this club, are they good enough in the bullpen? Because many people feel like while Atlanta's starting rotation doesn't have the big names like Philadelphia, they're still really good. Yeah, and most feel like Atlanta has a better bullpen than Philly.
Atlanta's bullpen is awesome. You got Johnny Venters and Craig Kimbrell down there. Both youngsters throwing 100 miles an hour, one from the right side and one from the left side. Oh, and they throw strikes.
And if you're wondering how the two have fared against one another, 500. Atlanta and the Phillies, 6 more games to go. They have split the front 12. Runner goes, and it's lined into right center field. Bruce going to try and get over there and cut it off, preventing the run. They're going to hold Mayberry at third. So they're on the corners after Ruiz hammers a successful hit and run.
Slider ends up being a strike in the middle of the plate. And Ruiz does a good job with it. A good time to put on the hit and run. You know it's going to be a strike somewhere. And Ruiz got a pitch that he could handle. Now if you're Homer Bailey, got to bow your neck a little bit here.
That's the first time either team has put 2 runners on base in an inning. Reds scored in the bottom of the 4th, and now Philadelphia trying to tie it in the top of the next half inning. Soft liner, short left. Chappelle dives, and it rolls by him. 1 run scores, and they're going to hold Ruiz at third on a double to tie the game by Valdez.
It's one of those plays that when you break back, you can't dive.
So now Cole Hamels with a go-ahead run at third base. And on the corner is Yonder Alonso, and there's ball 1 up and in. Alonso has not had a chance defensively so far in the game tonight. In fact, the Phillies have only put 3 balls on the ground all night. Make it 4.
They don't have a whole lot of infield hits. We do know that. But Homer Bailey has strikeout stuff. Can't worry about anything getting to the backstop. You have to trust your catcher.
Bailey fanned 4 of the first 9 batters of the game. He has not struck out a batter this second time through the order. Hamels, of course, the last batter the second time through. Struck him out for the second out of the inning, and that's a big one for Bailey.
Well, after you get the ball in on his hands and he fouls it into the third base dugout, you know that Hamels is thinking, all I've got to do is speed up my bat a little bit here and try to make contact. I can get an RBI. And Homer does exactly what he should have done. You climb the ladder, he swings right underneath the baseball, and now you got to go to work on probably the hottest hitter in this lineup right now.
Well, Victorino 0 for 2 tonight has popped to second and fly to center. Victorino, one of the rare major leaguers to grow up in Hawaii. 1-0 the count on Victorino. And it's on the inside corner, a strike.
It's a pretty good pitch right there by Bailey, especially after the pitch up and in, and he comes right back with the down and in strike. This is not a pitch that gets called a whole lot. Boy, that was a close one.
Ruiz a runner at third, Valdez at second. 2 are out in a 1-1 game. 1-1 count moves him off the plate. Bailey's done a lot of that so far in the game tonight.
In this league, against the top teams, you don't pitch inside and show that you have command of at least one side of the plate, they'll wear you out. And we've seen it happen.
Came in there again and missed again. 3-1 to Victorino. Polanco waits.
Maybe wanting Victorino to chase a bad pitch and pitch to Polanco.
Well, they're both pesky hitters.
Yes, they are.
They put the ball in play more times than not. Here's a 3-1 offering. Breaking ball fooled him badly. Clearly Victorino was looking 3-1 gas and didn't get it.
Well, he's gotten 5 consecutive fastballs in there, and this baby just drops off the table. The old Louisiana breakdown for sure right there.
3-2 on Victorino. Bailey trying to put him away and keep it a 1-1 game, and time is called. Hannigan wants to come out to the mound and make sure they know exactly what they want to do on his payoff pitch.
Well, I think Hannigan saw something out at second base that he didn't like.
You mean maybe tipping a pitch?
Maybe tipping a pitch. Because he's,
or more accurately, I guess, stealing a sign, but it's tipping a pitch.
Well, either way.
Yeah.
Relaying a pitch, however you want to say it. And if that's the case, then you give no sign and you wait till the last second to get in there.
Breaking ball is strike 3 called. Victorino thought it was ball 4. Oh, what a nice job by Bailey. 3-1 hook, 3-2 hook.
Today for the Front Gate Outdoor Luxury Suite, the most luxurious seating section in the ballpark, located directly above the owner's suite behind home plate. This covered outdoor area can host your group of up to 30 to 48 folks. Call the Reds Group Sales Department today at 513-765-7600 to your event.
Well, that is some kind of nice place up there indeed. And that was some kind of nice pitching right there by Homer Bailey to Shane Victorino. You thought there was something going on. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Yonder Alonso leads it off in a 1-1 game. He bounced out on the first pitch of his first at bat to Ryan Howard. Alonso 14 for his first 30. 3 home runs and 9 runs batted in. Started 2 and takes low. 2 balls and no strikes. So rare to see Alonso do what he did his first time up and swing at a first pitch. For such a young guy, he has a remarkable eye at the plate. I don't believe he thought that was a strike.
And I don't think it was.
Two and one on Yonder Alonso. Swing and a miss on a fastball.
Yeah, I thought Homer Bailey did a phenomenal job pitching out of that trouble.
Alonso 0 for 2 tonight.
Looks like a changeup here down in the strike zone. And you don't see too many left-handed pitchers that will throw a changeup to a left-handed batter. Cole Hamels is one of those pitchers that will do that.
Well, now Drew Stubbs in this 1-1 game with 1 out and nobody on. He's down a strike, and he struck out his first time up tonight. Jam shot, 1 hopper down to third. Just like that, 2 are out here in the 5th. Time to answer now our AT&T trivia question. The 3 Reds to lead the league in both on-base percentage and slugging percentage. You know about Joey Votto from last year. And the other 2 of the biggest names in the history of the Reds. The great Frank Robinson. And, of course, the back-to-back National League most valuable player in 75 and 76, Joe Morton. Broken bat, roller it up, and that didn't last long. We go to the 6th in a 1-1 game.
And the Reds as we move on to the 6th inning. Jim Day with you, and Yonder Alonso making his first start in the big leagues at third base tonight. And earlier this season surprised us all when he said, hey, I have a comfort level at third base because I've played it most of my life. Well, earlier today, Yonder Alonso emailed me further proof of that. Check out a 10-year-old Yonder Alonso playing third base and in a perfect defensive posture, I might add. This was just weeks after he and his family defected from Cuba. He was only 10 years old. His father played for the top professional baseball team in Cuba and later coached for them, so he comes from good baseball genes, and as you can tell from that posture, at third base, he has played it most of his life, and when he was a youth, played it fairly well.
It's great stuff, Jim Day. Great stuff.
You could even see him on the balls of his feet. You could see the heels just slightly off the ground. He knows how to play the game.
He has still not had a chance in a game so far tonight, for those of you perhaps just joining us.
That's what you want to see right down here. You can see the heels just barely off the ground. That means he's on the balls of his feet, ready to go. Perfect fielding position.
Tell you what, you spend a little time with his mom and dad. They are very impressive folks.
Yes, they are.
And you spend time with Yonder Alonso, and he's a very impressive young man.
Yeah,
very articulate, smart, a winner.
Well, he understands what life is about. It's not just the gravy train. And I think spending time with him on the Caravan and getting to talk to him a little bit and just knowing him a little bit better, he's going to be a special kid.
That's all she wrote for Polanco. He's out for the third time tonight, second time on strikes. And that's 7 strikeouts in the game for Homer Bailey.
Well, he has struck out Polanco twice tonight, and that's a guy that does not strike out hardly at all.
So now Chase Utley, who has struck out looking and had an infield hit on a ball hit far to the left of Brandon Phillips, who got there, bobbled it, but was unable to make a clean throw, and it went for an infield hit for Utley. Reds with a run in the bottom of the 4th inning. Phillips hit a fly ball to right field that Hunter Pence overran. Tried to dive back to his left after running to his right, and could not get it. It turned into a triple for Phillips, who scored on a ground out 2 batters later by Joey Votto. And then the Phillies had Ruiz play hit and run, sending Mayberry on to third, and Valdez with a bloop double in front of a diving Dave Chappelle scored their only run. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Utley. In the 8 strikeouts, a new season high for Bailey, and we're just in the 6th inning. Well, you go back to 2006, and we talked about what an offensive force Ryan Howard has become. Take a look at the numbers presented by Powerade. 18 more home runs than the next closest player in all of Major League Baseball.
And that guy is Albert Pujols. And I would imagine there's a whole lot of folks that would have said Big Albert before they would have said Ryan Howard. I'm included in that bunch.
Of course, nobody really talking much about Albert Pujols these days and what might happen or what might not happen at the end of his season. He, of course, is a free agent. Everybody remembers going back to spring training. He said, look, we're not negotiating during the year, and I'm not going to talk about it at all once the year begins. And to his credit and the Cardinals' credit, they've not drifted off that stance.
And I think that's very important. If you want to have that trust between yourself, then you've got to exhibit that trust when it's not beneficial for you either way.
Well, that is such a tough spot for the Cardinals organization. And clearly it's very simple. You have the greatest player arguably in the history of the franchise. Many of the old timers will say Stan Musial is the all-time best. Okay, if Pujols is not first, second, he's one of the top two. But then you're looking at a team that year in and year out still has a payroll of up over $100 million. But if you pay all that money to Pujols, you know, who can you keep? You've already locked into big money deals like Matt Holliday, Chris Carpenter, a free agent. You got a lot of money tied up in a pitcher, Adam Wainwright, who's coming all the way back from Tommy John. How many other guys can you keep on the team?
Right.
Phillips in short right, and Bailey through the heart of the order in 1-2-3 order. Now it's time for the Coors Light freeze can. The misplay in right by Pence, and Cowboy, he almost caught it.
Well, the over-aggressive nature of Hunter Pence really leads to this play. But you see his foot come out from under him. He was in full speed pursuit into right center field of a ball that took full speed to get there. But evidently, when the ball came down, it came down back towards the right field line. And when your feet come out from under you, there's not much more you can do other than lunge for the ball. And that's exactly what Pence did. Looked like it hit in his glove and bounced out.
That was the Coors Light freeze can, brought to you by Frost Brew. Coors Light. 1 run, 4 hits for the Phillies. 1 run, 1 hit for the Reds. And Hannigan to start things against Cole Hamels. 1-1 to Hannigan, who flied out to the right fielder Pence his only time up. So that misplay in right, the only hit, the only base runner for the Reds tonight against Hamels, who is making his first start in nearly 3 full weeks and make it a second base hit.
Cheer on your Redlegs Saturday, September 17th at Great American Ballpark when they battle the Milwaukee Brewers. Be one of the first 40,000 fans through the gates and receive an exclusive 2011 team photo. Thanks to Orville Redenbacher. For tickets to see your Reds and Brewers, call 513-381-REDS or visit Reds.com today.
Now Homer Bailey trying to advance a runner, and he will do it. Ruiz thought about throwing down with Hannigan running and thought better of it. That's Bailey's 5th sacrifice.
A very good bunt by Homer Bailey. Nice and relaxed. Catch the ball on the end of the bat. That way the ball doesn't go too far. And even with, or without, I should say, a speedster running, the bunt is just good enough to get Hannigan down to second base. Now he's in scoring position for, well, the one guy that you'd like to have at the plate right now. He hits left-handers pretty well himself.
Well, Brandon tonight struck out looking in the first inning. Had that fly ball to deep right center field that was ruled a triple and scored the only Reds run. Breaking ball low and in, ball 1 to Phillips, who has 73 runs batted in.
Well, that last pitch came out of his hand way too early. Looked like a curveball he was trying to bury down and in, and just slipped out of his hand.
Phillips.
Does not appear that they want to give Brandon a whole lot to hit with a youngster on deck. That the left-hander Hamels has struck out twice. And in a game like this, you go after the guys you know you can get.
3-1 to Brandon. Phillies have action in their bullpen. Michael Stute starting to throw. We mentioned tonight the first game back for Hamels after going through what they called a dead arm phase following a start on August the 12th. There's 70 pitches so far for Hamels.
3 consecutive breaking balls out of the strike zone. He pinpoints a fastball, drops a changeup in there. Now he's back in the count.
This ball hit hard as well. Deep right center field, and Victorino will chase it down. Hannigan tags and advances on to third. That's a couple of very hard hit balls by Phillips the other way. But this one and out.
Well, the number 2 spot's been awfully big tonight. He's had a couple of chances. And if you're Dave Chappelle, you got to have that desire now where you know this veteran pitcher has worked you over pretty good. You'd like to have a little payback.
One game, go ahead run at third, 2 away, and a chance for the rookie Chappelle. One ball, 1 strike. And a fastball right down the middle. He took it a strike. Chappelle's got to be wondering what's coming next.
So am I. Probably another one of those.
Tried the breaking ball to come in the side gate and missed. So now 2-2 on Chappelle.
Curveball to right-handers has not come out of the hand very well tonight for Hamill. He's coming with a changeup here.
And he has struck him out for the 3rd straight time. 7 of them in the game for Cole Hamels. We're still tied at 1 as we go to the 7th.
Reds baseball is brought to you by AT&T. Cincinnati Children's ranks 3rd in the nation on U.S. News and World Report's honor roll for Best Children's Hospitals 2011. By your Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Honda dealers. Visit mycincinnatihondadealer.com for current offers. And by Wendy's. You know when it's real.
One of the real landmarks, the John R. Roebling Suspension Bridge in downtown Cincinnati, connecting the Commonwealth. As we take a look at the Honda National League East standings going into play tonight. A 6-game lead for the Phillies. That thing's not quite over yet, Cowboy. They have 6 games left.
Anything can happen. After watching the Red Sox come back and win like they did, down to the Yankees the way they were.
And of course, Philadelphia knows all about it. They did it 2 years in a row to the New York Mets when it looked like they were dead in the water. They were basically sitting not where the Reds are, say, right now, but it wasn't further ahead than where the Reds are right now. And then they made just that unbelievable finish 2 years in a row. That goes back 4 years ago. 2 teams will play in Philadelphia starting next Monday. And then they'll play the final 3 games of the year in Atlanta. Renteria behind the bag, throws out Pence. Nice play by Edgar.
Hit this one right off the end of the bat, and Renteria gets there just in time to glove it and has just enough balance to get the throw to Votto just in time. Balance on that play is critical. If you don't get your shoulders square with first base as Renteria did, that throw ends up in the seats.
So now John Mayberry. He looks at a strike on the inside corner. You know, it's interesting to note this Philadelphia team. We talked about the games they have left with the Atlanta Braves, 6 more to go this year. The Phillies also have to go to Milwaukee and play a 4-game series. They have to play the Cardinals for 4 at home.
Their road to the end is no easy task.
And with all the rainouts and all the inclement weather they've been a part of up and down the eastern seaboard.
They have 33 games in 31 days now.
Yep. So a little bit of rest they've enjoyed here in Cincinnati the last 2 days under these beautiful bright sunny skies and cooler temperatures. That came to an end starting today. Foul territory, Votto, 2 out.
Come for the Reds, stay for more fun. Visit the new Penguin Palooza exhibit at Newport Aquarium and make it a weekend getaway. Book your trip at CincinnatiUSA.com.
Of course, you can still roll in, get out to Kings Island. Their hours are a little bit different right now, but I took the kids out just before the first day of school.
Love that place.
And man, is it what a place. Weather's great. Crowd's much thinner, obviously, with school back in now. There's a lot going on.
I like watching the Penguins knock each other in the water.
Every morning. To Ruiz, and a check swing, and he fooled him on a breaking ball. Ruiz singled on a hit and run into right center field, which sent Mayberry on to third back in the 5th inning. And then Mayberry scored the only Phillies run on a double by Valdez. It's out of play, still 1-2.
The one thing that I've noticed with Homer Bailey tonight is when he has decided to go up in the strike zone and change the eye level of the hitter after being down with well-located fastballs or the split finger or the curveball, slider, whatever the breaking ball's down in the zone. When he's gone up, it has meant a world of difference.
That fastball just ate up Ruiz, and that's the inning. That's one of the more dominant innings of the game for Bailey. They stand and stretch. A 1-1 game. To the Commonwealth. Two of Kentucky's top prep quarterbacks will lock up. Dixie Heights taking on juggernaut power Highlands. It's Thursday at 7, the road to glory, right here on Fox Sports Ohio. The Highlands Bluebirds. Boy, congratulations to Colerain High School. That group from Cocoa, Florida came up. 3-time division state champions from Florida, and Colerain beat them yesterday 17-7.
They got high school baseball going on all over, football going on all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Well, this guy right here, Antonio Bastardo, you look at those numbers and they don't lie. Bastardo, coming into the ball game, has yet to lose a game. This will be his 54th game with an ERA of 1.45. How about this number? 49 2/3 innings. He's only given up 19 hits, 59 strikeouts in the 49 2/3 innings. The 117 opponent's batting average is first in the National League relief rankings. Wow.
Of course, the only reason this young man got a chance to pitch at the major league level this year was because of all the injuries they had in their bullpen. I mean, guys they're really counting on, veteran guys, their closer Lidge, who have been replaced by Jose Contreras. And so back in May, we were talking about Bastardo and wondering, you know, could this guy sort of just carry the water for a while until everybody else got back? Well, he's done more than that.
Carried the water all right.
Joey Votto to lead things off in a 1-1 game in the 7th. 2-0. They'll use Bastardo to close out games. I mean, why not? I mean, there's certain games, if you're facing a team like the Reds, and tonight a perfect example, you've got Votto, Bruce, Alonso in order. If you're trying to nail down a 1 or 2 run lead, why fool around with a right-hander the way this guy brings it from the left side?
And they have done that. Got 8 on the year.
Votto pulls it foul on a 3-0 pitch. Of course, you know, you wonder, Cowboy, and of course you were a Rolaids Relief Man of the Year, pitched in the postseason, closer, great career. You know, would a manager, Charlie Manuel, you get to October, you've done a little bit of that in the regular season out of necessity because of injuries to Lidge and Contreras. But if you have them back, would you put this young man in that position with a 1-run lead in the playoffs? There's ball 4 to Votto.
Well, I think at some point for Charlie Manuel, at least how I've seen him manage, I don't think that he's going to have much of a choice. I don't think he's going to have the availability of Contreras because of the surgery. It depends on how Lidge is throwing, but really Lidge has been relegated to the 7th inning as of late, and it's been this guy and Ryan Madson finishing ball games.
Of course, they put Madsen in there, the veteran, been around for a long time because of those injuries to first Lidge, then Contreras. Well, you wonder about Bruce right there. As you look at the saves, Madsen, their guy right now with 23. Well, Bastardo just comes in the game. He walks Votto on 5 pitches up, beg your pardon. And then Bruce has seen back-to-back breaking balls and chased them both.
Well, they were both in the dirt is what makes it so amazing. Straight pitches out of the strike zone. Bastardo has only thrown 1 strike since he came into the game, and that was a 3-0 strike to Joey Votto.
Now Yonder Alonso, the batter, 0 for 2, has bounced to first and struck out. He takes outside and low, ball 1. When you look at the job that Bastardo has done, the job that Madsen has done, Lidge, when he's been healthy, apparently by all accounts, has thrown the ball pretty well, and Lord knows he has a lot of experience pitching October baseball.
You know, he definitely doesn't get too excited when it's, or overexcited, I should say.
We still have Kyle Kendrick down there. So, you know, for people that we've heard others talk about, you know, Atlanta having a distinct advantage in the bullpen, I don't know necessarily if you go along with that.
Well, where their advantage is if you're extended in the bullpen, where you have to go to 3 or 4 innings in the bullpen, which I don't really expect that the Phillies are going to have to do that. The way some of their starters have pitched with Halladay and Cliff Lee and Cole Hamels and Oswalt, and this guy they've got Worley. And it may end up being where Vance Worley is in the bullpen when it comes time for the postseason, and that just adds an extra arm for them down there.
1-1 on Yonder Alonso. 1-1 game, bottom of the 7th inning. Nice play by Ruiz. Oh, what a big play that is right now at this point in the game.
Well, he's always had a tremendous technique behind home plate. And you can see where the glove is. The glove goes right between the legs to block the space where he goes down. You don't try to catch that ball. You just try to keep it in front of you.
Breaking ball, fouled out of play by Alonso, and now the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here Alonso gets his first major league start at third base, and he's facing the likes of Hamels and now Bastardo. One guy with an ERA at 2.6 and the other guy in the 1s. 2-2 pitch. And Alonso can't believe that's called strike 3. Two out.
I think in that situation, the youngster is looking for that extra breaking ball that he saw so many to Jay Bruce and to Joey Votto. That's a pretty good pitch right there.
So after the leadoff walk to Votto, back-to-back strikeouts of Bruce and Alonso for Bastardo, and here's Drew Stubbs. Stubbs has struck out looking and grounded out to the third baseman Polanco. 1 run, 4 hits for Philadelphia. They've left 3. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left on base for the Reds.
That's why Bastardo has a 117 opponent's batting average. He will throw any pitch at any time.
Came back down and in on Stubbs to even a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies have 8, 9, and 1 in their batting order, due up in the 8th inning. No action in the Reds bullpen. Homer Bailey right at the 90 pitch mark through the front 7. And now the 2-2 on Stubbs. Inning over. A leadoff walk, 3 straight strikeouts. We march on to the 8th in a 1-1 game. Homer Bailey's been mighty impressive here tonight. The 1 run, the 4 hits. He has not walked a batter. He's fanned 8.
Well, he has had control of his emotions. He's had control of his pitches, and he's really controlled the ball game by using both sides of the plate with all the pitches that he's been throwing. He's changed the eye levels of the hitters. Now the big key is to continue on.
Well, they'll have 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order. We'll start with Valdez. They have Raul Ibanez standing in the on-deck circle. Of course, whether or not he bats, I would imagine, has a lot to do with what Valdez does. And he lines into center field. They may bring Ibanez back and send up somebody to bunt.
Join the Reds and your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers on Friday, September 16th for a special salute to local heroes. Arrive early for a pregame ceremony where local police departments will join manager Dusty Baker on the field. Plus, one lucky police crew will win the red Toyota Tundra. Thanks to your local Toyota dealers. For tickets, call 513-381-REDS or visit reds.com.
That's a great deal they have. Giving it away to a local fire department here in town.
No doubt.
Well, as we suspected, they're going to bring back Ibanez and send up Michael Martinez to put down a bunt, or at least one would assume a bunt. Bunted over the screen and out of play. Four of them so far this year for Mr. Martinez. Naturally, when you play a 19-inning game, you're going to see everybody on the roster, and that night we did. Michael Martinez. Came on to bat in the 11th inning, certainly not knowing that he would get 4 at bats before the game was over. That's caught by Votto. That is certainly a chink in the armor of this Philadelphia team, and they don't have many of them. We've talked about them a little bit already tonight. They don't bunt much. When they do bunt, they don't bunt well. They do not manufacture runs. And you wonder, Cowboy, is that the kind of thing? Of course, the same can be said for Atlanta, although they're a little bit different team now with Michael Bourne. But you know, neither one of those teams particularly adept at manufacturing runs. And, man, when you're facing the other teams pitching, if it turns out to be those two teams playing for a trip to the World Series,
you can't just always count on the long ball.
Although here's a long one that'll give Philadelphia the 3-1 lead. So much for the bunt.
So much for the bunt is right. When you got a guy going like Victorino is right now, well, I guess you can count on the long ball. I didn't quite get that out of my mouth, did I?
3-1 Philadelphia on a 2-run home run by Victorino.
First curveball he's thrown him all day long, and he smokes it right out of the ballpark.
Well, now Polanco down a strike. Valdez started it. And then scores along with Victorino behind him. Well, what a year Victorino's having.
I'm telling you.
15 home runs, 53 batted in, primarily batting in the 1 or 2 hole all year. Now 53 runs batted in. Has 21 doubles and the 14 triples.
The thing that amazes me, Tom, is that he has the power from both sides, left and right, to do what he just did. And here we are, we're running into a ball game, getting deep into the game where, you know, one big hit can cash it in for either club. And he takes a first pitch breaking ball, which, you know, most guys would just let that ball go by. But yet he jumps all over it and hits it out of the ballpark.
Polanco going on strikes for the third time tonight. Well, you can watch the Phillies play virtually every night during the entire season and not watch him strike out 3 times in a game.
He has gotten him on the breaking ball all night long, and it's been the slider down and away that Polanco normally, as I was saying earlier, that's the pitch that he flips into right field for a base hit, but he just has not been able to get to it.
It's the third time Bailey has struck out 9 batters in a game in his career. His career high came in October of last season when he fanned 10 Milwaukee Brewers. Homer's 100th pitch of the night on the way. 1-0 Dudley. And it should be the final out in the inning. But damage is done. A leadoff single by Valdez. After an unsuccessful bunt attempt, Victorino plays long ball. Dog play of the game. Ranging far to his left. Mr. Renteria still flashing some pretty good range on that play, and well done.
Michael Stutz. Last time we saw Cole Hamels, well, this was the guy that came in after him. You see the numbers. Slider, hard sinker, in on the right-handers.
Renteria on a 1-0 pitch pops it up in foul ground, and a nice play made by Howard.
Out that Willie Mays style, right in front of the railing over by the first base dugout. Pays to have a little reach so you don't have to take your body over the top of that railing.
Now Ryan Hannigan with Homer Bailey's spot due up next. Reds trailing 3-1, and they're down to their final 5 outs. Bastardo goes an inning, strikes out 3, walks about it.
I think Homer wanted to stay in the game, but I don't think he realized that he was third up.
Hannigan, 1 out of 2, singled into right field his last time up.
This is what you have to do when you come out of the bullpen. You come out aggressive and down in the strike zone.
It's funny how a season progresses. We mentioned we were back in Philadelphia in the middle of May, and they were really wondering if guys like Stutz and Bastardo could do what they were asking them to do. Clearly not only on a contending team, but a team with designs on playing in a World Series and winning a World Championship. But not sure if, even if they did an adequate job, whether or not they'd still be around by the time we hit late August, early September. And when both of them have gotten a chance and they've made the most of it.
Well, that's the big issue. When you get a chance in the big leagues, you better take advantage of it, because I can guarantee you there's somebody behind you.
And again, a soft liner that'll fall. Good piece of hitting by Hannigan. He has 2 hits tonight. Bailey will be taken down for Fred Lewis. Bailey coming off the mound after the top of this 8th inning when he allowed that 2-run home run to Victorino to give Philadelphia a 3-1 lead.
Well, he wanted to stay in the ball game, and then he didn't realize that. You see Dusty saying he's the 3rd hitter, and now he's saying, well, I can hit. Nope, you're out. And he's not happy. He wants to stay in the game. That's what you want. That's the kind of pitcher that you want. You want him to stay in the ball game and finish what he started.
Bailey threw exactly the 100 pitches, allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, struck out 9, did not walk a batter all night.
And he only made 1 mistake, really. And I don't know that you can really count a first pitch curveball a mistake. The fact that it was up was probably a mistake. Sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the hitter. He hit a curveball and he hit it out of the ballpark.
Homer's still so young, and universally everybody agrees it probably brought to the major leagues before he should have been brought to the major leagues. But we also universally agree that the Reds were looking for something to get excited about. Right. Pitching was terrible 4 years ago when he first came up. And that night against Cleveland was still a great night.
Oh, yeah.
He's turned 25, and tonight is 73rd major league appearance.
I think the thing that you look for with young pitchers, improvement each and every ball game. And with Homer Bailey, I think you see that. You see some frustrating moments, but that happens with young players and young pitchers. But are they getting better as time moves on? That is how you judge it.
William 1 now to Lewis. Go back to the top of the order next. Brandon Phillips. Reds would love to give him a chance with 2 aboard. Foul ball. Broke his bat. Sounded like.
Well, that ball was not fouled by much.
Strike 3 called, 2 are out. Reds have struck out in the game tonight. 7 by Hamels, 3 by Bastardo, and that's number 1 for Stutz.
Came in the fastball where he broke the bat, and he goes right back away. Starts it in the middle of the plate and runs it right to the outside corner. Strike 3.
And now Brandon, 1 of 3 in the game, tripled to right center field and scored the only Reds run. It was in the 4th inning.
Not really sure if I've seen Michael Stoops throw a breaking ball for a strike yet. They have all been chase pitches. Fastball has been down, and it's been on both sides of the plate, which is great. I think if I'm hitting right now, I'm not really going to respect the breaking ball because I haven't seen him throw it for a strike.
Still asking.
That's where the balls end up, way outside.
And this is where you hope that guys are actually paying attention. It's one thing for you and I to sit up here, we're watching every single pitch, but guys are moving around in the dugout. You would expect them to be paying attention through this entire inning.
Well, the guys that last the longest in the big leagues, they pay attention. That's the first breaking ball he's thrown for a strike, and it was on 2-0. And it wasn't a very good one. But that's how you make your living over there in the dugout. When you're not playing or you're not at bat, you watch what's going on in the rest of the game. As you know, Tom, there are a lot of guys that put on the uniform. They're here for a very short period of time, and you never hear from them again.
There's a drive down the right field line, bending towards the corner, and that is a foul ball. Two now to Phillips, and he fouls it away.
Between first and second base on these 3-2 pitches.
The eighth pitch is back coming now to Phillips, trying to keep the inning alive. And that just ate up the third baseman. And advancing first to third, already on the go, was Hannigan. And so Phillips with his second hit tonight. Reds have 2 on with 2 out, down by 2 in the 8th.
And I can guarantee you that this guy pays attention to what's going on during the ball game. That ball was hammered.
Boy, was it.
And you saw him fight off the breaking ball earlier after the pitch was a strike. He did not swing at a breaking ball until Michael Stoops threw a breaking ball for a strike. You get some guys sitting in the dugout. They're on the edge of their chair trying to scan the field, make sure they try to learn something. You got other guys that are just leaning back, feet kicked up, and could care less what's going out on the field.
Rich Doobie, the pitching coach. Well, they're pitching coaches, and Doobie's one of them that have been around a long time and done a great job, a number of different stops. How fortunate must he know he is? And you know he is. He's a humble guy and a good guy. And to know that the kind of investment this franchise has put in their pitching.
Well, I think every pitching coach would love to have the kind of staff that works like his staff does. But then again, it's his responsibility to also make sure that the guys like Michael Stutz and Antonio Bastardo and Ryan Madsen, that they follow along in the footsteps of the Cliff Lees and the Cole Hamels and the Roy Halladay's and the Roy Oswalds. He's got another one in Vance Worley down there. You got to make sure that that young man understands that these guys didn't just show up with great arms. They have worked to get where they are.
On the outside corner, two perfect pitches. We talked about all the breaking balls that Stutz was not throwing for strikes at the beginning of the inning, but this is a dandy here. Man.
Also a nice job by Ruiz on the receiving end.
Tapper down to third, and the throw is not in time. Chappelle with an infield hit. Phillips going to third, and he's in there.
Put the ball in play, and you can always expect something good to happen. You see the high hop. Placido Polanco had no choice but to basically try to turn a double play in the way that he threw the ball to first base. Brandon Phillips hustling all the way. Check him out, paying attention. All the way to third base.
An RBI infield hit for Chappelle, and a throwing error by Polanco, allowing Phillips to go second to third. So now Votto with a tying run at third, lead one at second, 2 out in the 8th. 0-1. Be very interesting to see how much Votto gets to hit in this at bat right here.
Well, we've seen it time and time again where they pitched around Votto if there was a place to do it. It's 2 outs in the inning. And I think Joey has gotten used to it. I think if the ball is close and he thinks he can shoot the ball down the left field line, he's going to take a chance.
Got him on a 2-0 breaking ball. Inning over. Reds still down a run. tying drive of the game. Sinking liner that dropped in front of Dave Chappelle, allowing the first Philadelphia run of the game to score. Stayed a 1-1 game until the 8th. And that's when Shane Victorino clubbed a 2-run home run. Reds got one back in the bottom of the inning. And that's where we stand as we go to the 9th.
Hitting the road, take the Cincinnati Reds with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Reds game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Reds.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
By Cowboy, 1-run ball game. Reds on the short end of that 1-run game as Bill Bray now becomes the first reliever out of the bullpen, following up 8 very good innings from Homer Bailey.
Well, for Bill Bray this year, put together a pretty good year. 4-2 on the year, a 2.85 earned run average. 68 appearances now with his appearance tonight. 41 innings pitched, only 31 hits.
Well, Nick Massett is up and throwing in the bullpen, so we'll see if this is one batter, and that's all for Bray.
Maybe a little mix and match here.
We run 6 hits for Philly, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Reds. 0-2 to Howard, who's 0 for 3 in the game.
Now's the pitch you want to put him away with. You don't want to let him back in the count at 2-2. On the 0-2 pitch, you take a chance with a swing out of the zone. At 1-2, bring the ball back to the corner. Make him put the ball in play defensively.
Well done. 1 out.
Job. This pitch before was a slider that started in the same spot and broke outside. This breaking ball starts in the heart of the plate and goes straight down. Bray got on top of that one just a tad bit more than the pitch before, and he gets the swing and miss. Nice job.
So be our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. Nick Massett will replace Bray. 1 out, top of the 9th. Phillies lead 3-2. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. cold and it was hard. Breaking a 1-1 tie in the 8th inning. Shane Victorino clubs his 15th home run to give Philadelphia a 3-1 lead. Reds got one of them back in the bottom of the 8th. That's where we stand. 3-2 Phils in the 9th. 1 out, nobody on, and now on to pitch Nick Massett.
Massett will have his work cut out for him with both Pitts and Mayberry. Massett, as of late, has had a tough time. It is ready for him to change months from August to September. I'm sure he's ready for that.
Much like last year, he did not have a good April, and much like last year, he had an unbelievable May, June, and July. August has not been kind. Last year, he went May, June, July, August, September, lights out. And the year before that.
Well, I think with Massett, most of the time, Tom, it is being prepared before you come into the ball game from a mental standpoint. Has nothing to do with stuff. Has to do with just being prepared for what you're going to do on that given day.
Pence will now be 2 out of 14 against Massett. 2 out.
You and I have talked so many times about the mental part of the ball game and being prepared mentally. I don't know that you could ask for better physical stuff and physical pitches than what Nick Massett has. But being prepared mentally each and every day is also a very difficult issue, and he's got to work on that.
We brought it up yesterday. It's going to be very interesting among the many topics the Reds are certainly thinking about right now, and that they'll get to work on between now and the end of this year, and certainly when the offseason begins. Now, one of the topics you look down there in that bullpen. Francisco Cordero has had an outstanding year, and he has virtually been unhittable since the All-Star break. So in the final year of his deal, you have an option, but you know, would the Reds consider turning around and perhaps redoing that a little bit and bring him back for 1 year, bring him back for 2 more years? Is Aroldis Chapman going to become the closer? Do they believe Massett or Andrusik is capable of becoming the closer? A lot of questions. We head for the bottom of the 9th. Bruce, Alonso, Stubbs. Reds down a run. Post-game edition brought to you by Kings Honda and the Kings Auto Mall. Visit KingsHondaUSA.com. Ryan Madsen really 4th on the depth chart as far as closers, theoretically anyway. With everybody healthy when the season began, he is their main man right now. He's only blown 2 of those safe tries all year.
And I think listening to Madsen talk, it's all about, in his mind, it's all about transferring the pressure from himself to the hitter. And I can remember thinking that in my own mind when it was my chance to close, because the hitters have got to score the runs. You have the benefit of the lead when you come in to save a ball game. They're the ones that have to hit you.
Of course, the Reds beat Ryan Madson. It wasn't a save situation. It was a 3-3 game. And the Reds won that game 6-3, scoring 3 runs in the 9th inning, and all 3 runs were knocked in by Jay Bruce. That's when he had that monster series, of course, in the middle of a monster month in May. Two and one.
That's pretty much what you're going to get from Madson. Fastball, split finger, especially if you're left-handed. And he will run that fastball up underneath your hands.
3-2 now to Bruce. We got into Alonso next. Bruce 0 for 3 in the game. Alonso 0 for 3 as well. So too is a third hitter in the inning, Drew Stubbs. The danger of guarding the line. A routine ground ball to first turns into a base hit, and a good way to get it started.
I hated that. I hated it. And I still hate it.
I'm with you. I've never understood it.
That ball is supposed to be away, and he leaves it in the middle of the plate, and Bruce hits the ground ball where normally Ryan Howard would be playing, but he's guarding on the line, and he has no chance to get to it whatsoever.
I mean, even if you just went on statistical probability, a batter hitting a ball down the right field line, not going to say obviously it's impossible because it's done, but never understood it. Now Yonder, strike one, trying to end it with one swing of the bat.
You see where Howard is right up here. He's right on the line. And the pitch is right down the middle. And if he had been over in his normal spot, that would have probably been right to him.
Oh, wow. Well, that's terrible. That's Jim Wolf down there at third. Still 0-2 on Yonder Alonso. Bruce a tying run aboard on a base hit to begin the bottom of the ninth.
Yonder has seen the 2 pitches that Madson throws predominantly to left-handers. The split finger, he saw those the first 2 pitches, and that last pitch was one of his better fastballs right in the heart of the plate.
Struck him out. 3 straight strikeouts for Alonso. 1 out here in the ninth.
Change up. The okay grip, and he turns it over and gets Alonso way out in front. And with 2 strikes there, anything close you got to protect, especially after the call earlier.
And now Drew Stubbs, a batter who is 0 for 3, struck out looking, bounced to third, and struck out swinging.
That shows you how good the changeup is from Madsen. That ball was middle in, and Stubbs had swung before it got there. Good arm action, and he turns it over well.
Should be a double play to put this, and they cannot turn it quickly enough with Stubbs running. But it got down to the third baseman Polanco in enough time, but it looked rather slow developing for the Phillies. Not that you're going to get Stubbs necessarily anyway.
Well, you have to remember with the issue with the knee and Chase Utley, he's a little more careful at second base than he has been in the past.
So now the Reds down to their final out. Renteria for 3. Reds don't have a hit in their lineup. 3-4 until a Bruce single here in the 9th inning. All the way down to the 8-hole. And Stubbs steals second base to get into scoring position, his 35th of the year. That's stealing a base when you need to steal a base.
Well, it's also Stubbs paying attention earlier while he was on deck and seeing the leg kick from Ryan Madsen. He never picked to first. He never even made a movement to first base. A high leg kick on every single pitch. When you're in the on-deck circle, you have to pick that up.
Tapper down to Howard, and the Phillies have come to town and won the opening game of this series by a run, handing the Reds their major league leading 29th one-run loss this year.
Well, I thought Homer Bailey threw the ball awfully well. Bullpen came in and did their job. The Reds were just not able to put the ball in play when they had their chances, and against this type of pitching staff of the Phillies, you don't get many. So when you do get the chance, you got to cash it in, and the Reds weren't able to do that tonight.
So a final count of 3-2. Time now for Reds Live, the post-game edition. Let's send it downstairs to Jim Day.
Tom, thank you very much. Tough loss for Cincinnati tonight. Coming up on Reds Live, we'll put a capper on this one, including Cole in the Reds stockings. Cole Hamill comes off the DL and gives him 6 solid innings as him and Homer Bailey are going toe-to-toe tonight. And that one mistake pitch to the flying Hawaiian Victorino with the go-ahead and winning home run in this one. We'll show you all the highlights, and it doesn't get any easier. Halladay tomorrow, as in Roy Halladay, as the gauntlet of pitching continues against Cincinnati. A lot to talk about. Reds Live presented by King's Honda is right around the corner. Another one-run loss for Cincinnati, and this just in. Philadelphia's pretty good. Back after this.